Question 1. Define services and explain the characteristics of service. Answer. Let's begin with the definition. A service is an activity or benefit that one party offers to another. It is intangible, does not result in ownership, and is often consumed at the time of production. Common examples include banking, hospitality, education, and tourism. Now, let's understand the key characteristics of services. First, intangibility. Services cannot be seen, touched, or held. For instance, when you book a hotel, you can't test the experience beforehand. Because of this, businesses use tangible elements like branding, ambience, and customer reviews to build trust. Second, inseparability. Services are produced and consumed at the same time. You can't separate the provider from the service. Think of a doctor's consultation. It happens in real time, requiring both doctor and patient. Third, variability, also called heterogeneity. Services vary from person to person, day to day. The same restaurant might deliver a great experience one day and an average one the next, depending on who serves you. Fourth, perishability. Services can't be stored. An empty hotel room or missed flight seat today cannot be sold tomorrow. Hence, managing demand and supply efficiently is crucial. Fifth, no ownership. When you use a service, you don't own it. For example, when you use Netflix, you only access content, you don't own the shows. Sixth, customer participation. In many services, the customer plays an active role. Self-check-in at airports or online banking requires user involvement. Seventh, relationship-focused services often involve ongoing relationships, like telecom services or personal coaching. So, customer satisfaction and loyalty become key goals. In conclusion, services are unique. They require special strategies in planning, marketing, and delivery. Businesses must ensure high-quality, consistent, and personalized service experiences to succeed. Forecasting is the process of predicting future trends or outcomes based on historical data, current trends, and analysis. In tourism, forecasting helps predict the number of visitors, future travel patterns, and demand for tourism services. Accurate forecasting is vital for planning infrastructure, hotel bookings, staffing, marketing, and policy making. Now, let's explore the key factors that influence tourism demand. First, economic factors. A strong economy increases disposable income, encouraging people to travel. Factors like employment rate, income levels, and currency exchange rates also influence international travel demand. Second, political factors. Tourists avoid politically unstable regions. War, civil unrest, and government restrictions can sharply reduce tourist arrivals. On the other hand, political stability boosts travel confidence. Third, social and cultural factors. Trends in fashion, pop culture, and lifestyle influence where people want to go. Word of mouth, social media, and film tourism also shape destination choices. Fourth, technological factors. Advances in transportation and communication have made travel easier and more affordable. Online booking systems, mobile apps, and digital guides have changed how tourists plan their trips. Fifth, environmental factors. Climate plays a major role. Tourists avoid areas with extreme weather or natural disasters. Clean environments and natural beauty attract more visitors. Sixth, legal and regulatory factors. Visa rules, health regulations, and customs policies can either promote or discourage tourism. Friendly visa policies boost inbound tourism. Seventh, destination appeal. The availability of attractions, cultural heritage, events, and unique experiences directly impacts demand. Tourists are drawn to destinations offering something special. Eighth, seasonal factors. Tourism demand is often seasonal. Beaches are popular in summer, while hill stations attract visitors in hot months. Festivals and holidays also affect travel. In summary, Tourism demand is shaped by a mix of economic, political, cultural, technological, and natural factors. Understanding these factors helps businesses and governments forecast future tourism trends and plan accordingly. A tourism destination is not just a place, it's a comprehensive experience. Once a site is developed for tourism, its operation must be managed carefully to ensure sustainability, visitor satisfaction, and community benefit. Let's now look at the key operational issues that need attention. First, visitor management. Controlling the number and behavior of tourists is critical. Overcrowding can damage resources, strain infrastructure, and reduce the quality of the experience. Proper signage, guided tours, entry limits, and booking systems help manage crowds. Second, environmental conservation. Tourism must not harm the natural or cultural environment. Issues like pollution, littering, deforestation, and wildlife disturbance should be prevented. Eco-friendly practices, waste management systems, and environmental education are essential. Third, infrastructure and amenities. Tourists expect basic facilities like clean restrooms, drinking water, food, transportation, and emergency services. Poor infrastructure leads to dissatisfaction. Regular maintenance and upgrades are a must. Fourth, safety and security. Ensuring the safety of tourists is vital. Emergency response plans, trained staff, surveillance, and clear safety guidelines protect visitors and boost confidence. Fifth, community involvement. Local communities should benefit from tourism. Employment, local enterprise support, and respect for local culture promote a sense of ownership and reduce resistance. Ignoring the community can lead to conflict and resentment. Sixth, quality of services. Tourists expect professional and courteous services. Staff training, language skills, and hospitality standards must be maintained. Consistency in service quality enhances the destination's image. Seventh, marketing and promotion. Effective communication is needed to attract the right tourists. This includes online presence, branding, partnerships, and targeted campaigns. Misleading promotions can lead to disappointment. Eighth, revenue management. Sustainable tourism requires steady income to maintain operations. Entry fees, permits, and service charges must be planned wisely and reinvested for site upkeep and community development. Ninth, monitoring and evaluation. Continuous assessment of tourist feedback, environmental impact, and infrastructure helps improve operations. Feedback loops and data collection tools play a key role here. 10th, legal compliance. Tourism sites must follow local and international laws, including permits, safety standards, and labor regulations. Non-compliance can lead to closure or penalties. In conclusion, operating a destination as a tourism product is a multidimensional challenge. From protecting the environment to ensuring safety, service quality, and local participation, every element must be managed thoughtfully. Only then can tourism grow in a sustainable, responsible, and rewarding way for all stakeholders. Special interest tourism refers to travel that is motivated by the specific interests, hobbies, passions, or needs of individuals or groups. Unlike mass tourism, SIT is highly personalized, niche-oriented, and often focuses on learning, experience, or meaningful engagement with a particular theme. Examples include wildlife tourism, adventure travel, spiritual tourism, medical tourism, culinary tourism, heritage trails, film tourism, and many others. Now, let's look at the key factors to consider while designing SIT products. First, understanding the target market. SIT is highly consumer-driven. It is important to know the specific interests, age group, preferences, income level, travel motivations, and expectations of the target audience. For instance, bird watchers will have very different needs from yoga retreat seekers. Second, theme and authenticity. The theme should be authentic and well-defined. Whether it's tribal culture, photography tours, or rural village life, the experiences must be genuine, educational, and aligned with the interest of the tourist. Third, destination suitability. Not every place fits every interest. The chosen location must naturally support the special interest. For example, scuba diving should be planned in coastal areas with rich marine biodiversity, not inland locations. Fourth, resource availability. SIT often depends on specialized resources, such as trained guides, local experts, equipment, or access to restricted areas. These must be available and reliable for a successful experience. Fifth, experience design. Unlike general tours, SIT requires deep engagement. Activities should be interactive, immersive, and educational. The itinerary should be designed to allow time for exploration, workshops, local interaction, or personal reflection. Sixth, sustainability and ethics. Many SIT segments are nature-based or community-based. So, it's vital to ensure eco-friendly practices, cultural respect, and low-impact tourism. Tourists should be educated about responsible behavior. Seventh, infrastructure and accessibility. Even for niche tourism, access roads, transport, accommodations, and safety measures must be in place. Basic comfort should not be ignored, even for remote or rural experiences. Eighth, collaboration with local communities. Locals play a big role in SIT. Involving them ensures authentic experiences and spreads the economic benefits. It also reduces the risk of cultural exploitation or misunderstanding. Ninth, marketing and communication. Since SIT targets niche audiences, promotional efforts must be focused and theme-specific. Use of social media, blogs, expert endorsements, and interest-based groups can be very effective. In conclusion, special interest tourism is about offering personalized, meaningful, and memorable experiences around a particular interest or passion. Successful SIT products depend on careful planning, cultural and environmental sensitivity, and a deep understanding. Beaches are among the most popular tourism attractions worldwide. They offer natural beauty, relaxation, water sports, and entertainment. For many tourists, the idea of a perfect vacation means sun, sand, and sea. Beaches serve both domestic and international tourists and offer opportunities for leisure, adventure, wellness, and nightlife. In India, we are blessed with a 7,500-kilometer-long coastline, dotted with famous beaches. Let's look at some examples. Goa is India's most famous beach destination. Beaches like Baga, Kalangute, Anjuna, and Palolem attract tourists for their parties, shacks, music festivals, and water sports. Goa offers a mix of Portuguese heritage, seafood, and laid-back charm. Kerala is another beach state known for its serene and calm beaches like Kovalam and Varkala. Here, beach tourism is blended with Ayurveda, backwaters, and ecotourism. Odisha's Puri Beach is also famous, especially during the Rath Yatra, where spirituality and beach tourism combine. Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh have beautiful beaches like Marina Beach in Chennai and Ramkrishna Beach in Vishakhapatnam that attract both pilgrims and families. Now, let's talk about islands. Islands are isolated land masses surrounded by water, offering unique biodiversity, culture, and adventure. They are popular among honeymooners, nature lovers, and scuba divers. India has two main island groups. First, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Located in the Bay of Bengal, these islands are known for crystal clear water, coral reefs, marine life, and tropical forests. Havelock Island, now renamed Swaraj Dweep, is a top destination for scuba diving, snorkeling, and ecotourism. Radhangar Beach is often ranked among the best beaches in Asia. Second, the Lakshadweep Islands. Located in the Arabian Sea, these coral islands are lesser known but offer pristine lagoons, water sports, and quiet escapes. Agatti and Bangaram Islands are popular for snorkeling, kayaking, and sustainable tourism experiences. Beaches and islands are not just natural spots, they are comprehensive tourism products. They involve accommodation, local cuisine, cultural activities, marine sports, and conservation. To succeed as tourism products, beaches and islands must be clean, safe, accessible, and environmentally protected. Issues like plastic waste, erosion, and overtourism must be addressed. In conclusion, India's beaches and islands offer rich and diverse experiences, from Goa's party scene to Kerala's wellness beaches, and from Andaman's coral adventures to Lakshadweep's peaceful escapes. With responsible tourism, they can continue to be jewels of India's tourism industry.